those little demons, there's no doubt. When we heard his voice, we weren't broken anymore.
Good morning.
Now we're not broken. Like
No, we're not. Good morning, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, wherever it is you end up seeing this.
We put on our brand new armor every day. 'Cause we're not broken anymore.
No, we're not broken anymore. Good morning. What a great statement by the one we call Jesus, Yeshua, Ishu, Mashika in Aramaic. In the Father's house, there are many mansions. If it weren't true, I wouldn't have told you. What a great teaching. I wish they had included the whole teaching in the Bible, but it's one of the many that they chose not to. And you're probably about to find out why. But yes, in the Father's house, in the domain of the Father, which is where? The Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. It's always been. It always will be. It's always been knowing itself, the Father. Yes. And in the Father's house, he created 7 days in Genesis, but in many, many, many other teachings of Yeshua and many other scriptures, those days, which there isn't really that word in the languages that were used at the time, are densities. And then the dominion, the domain, the existence, the projection, the Milta, the Logos of the Father exists in 7 densities simultaneously throughout the cosmos. This is deep water. If you saw my video last Friday, we started on this subject of deep water and of how Earth and every biological creation upon Earth is moving from 3rd density consciousness to 4th density consciousness, whether you believe it or not. Doesn't matter. Your awareness of consciousness is the mansion you live in. And now I'm going to explain it to you. Because I promise you, your teacher or pastor at your church building can't or won't explain it to you. But the mansions within the Father's house are your awareness of the Father, of consciousness. And the major rooms or mansions in the Father's house are 7 densities. The first density is the 4 basic elements: earth, wind, fire, water. And that's what you see in Genesis 1. In the beginning was earth, wind, fire, water. Then the second density was biological life appeared. And I hate it for all you young earthers, but both of those 2 densities were billions of years long. Then humans became 3rd density beings. Humans became self-aware. Humans started saying, I am. And eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. That's 3rd density. Thankfully, the 3rd density, the 3rd mansion, is a short-lived one because it's very intense. lots of catalysts, lots of spiritual growth. And it's a 75,000 year period, 3 major cycles of 25,000 years. That's why the whole mind calendar thing. And now we're entering fourth density consciousness, which is light vibrating at a higher level. And the door is opening to a new mansion for all of creation to live in. And Jesus said that there are many mansions in the Father's house. And in other teachings outside of the Bible, he said that within each density are 7 densities, and within each of those are 7 sub-densities, and so on and so forth for infinity. And what he's explaining there is, just take a look at your life and see how your conscious awareness right now, this second, is almost like you're a different human being than the conscious awareness you had as a baby, and as a 5-year-old, and as a 12-year-old, and as a 21-year-old, and as a 40-year-old, and as a 70-year-old. Those are all awareness of density within, at this point, the third density. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because, like in last Friday's video, it's time to poop or get off the pot. Good morning, Gary. Just like last Friday, we've been through a 75,000 year period where the need to poop or get off the pot wasn't as important because third density is still in full force. But now that fourth density is here, and the fourth density life track or timeline has cranked up, you're going to have to decide whether you're going to be a service to self, third density being until you graduate, which is your physical death. And then at that point, you will judge your life and figure out whether you were a high enough percentage polarity wise of service to others to graduate to fourth density, whatever that means for you. But just know that you, right now, today, can make a choice. The choice is here. That's why the catalyst is here. And the catalyst is going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. See, this is why a wicked generation seeks a sign. The service to self people are all concerned about the catalyst and what we're going to do about the catalyst and what we got to do to get the catalyst to stop. And these words that we use are catalysts. And you're going to notice that the service to self people are always talking about what other people have to do in order for life to be okay. Politicians are all service to self entities. That's why they're there. But if you truly want to find peace in the Father's house today, you will turn inward and love your enemy, which is all the things. So all this catalyst that's going on, all the protesting, all the murders, all the stuff, all the politics, all the stuff that you're scrolling through on this little screen and looking at, and then you notice you've got an emotion inside of you. Today's the day that you can make the choice to go inward and love those enemies that have been triggered within you. If you say you follow Jesus, this is your opportunity to remove the timber from your own eye so that you can see in order to point your brother to the same place. It's here, guys. It's time. But it's not time for finger pointing. It's not time for creating new concepts about God. It's not time to argue about words written in a book. It's not even time for words at all. See, words are a third density catalyst. The great news about fourth density, we will probably graduate before it gets to this time, but soon in fourth density, all the babies being born now, when they become our age, will use very few words, because the catalyst in fourth density is all about love. And then by the time fifth density rolls around, millions of years from now, we won't even have vocal cords, because fifth density is a wisdom density. Sixth density is the density of light. That's when you'll get your full light body. And then the seventh density, the last one, is one pure oneness with the Father. And that's when all of us that went through this ride together will be what's called a memory complex, a single entity, one with the Father. And when that happens, as spiritual mass builds within that entity, it will collapse in on itself and become a black hole. And on the other side of that, it'll be Genesis 1 all over again. Before the beginning, darkness and void and chaos. And it all starts again. First density in a new cosmos. So yes, in the Father's house are many, many, many mansions. Many mansions. But the keys to those mansions are in your heart. The key to experiencing those mansions is removing the timber from your own eye and learning how to live and love in a fourth density mindset where words are no longer necessary. Because if we are truly one, they're not necessary. There is no cell in my body that needs to have a word to tell me it's in trouble. And that's how we're about to be, all of us, in fourth density. Seek to live in such a way that words aren't necessary. Turn inward and remove the timber from your own eye. Because the two paths are here, and it's time to make a choice. I love you. I pray that you have an amazing day. Peace.